Hey guys, so here's the next part for the 2.7 extension day 2 notes. Once again, we are writing piecewise functions, but for the next couple of examples, we're going to write them given a word problem. Okay, first thing I always like to do is write the notation. Let's just go ahead and write that, and then we can read the problem and get to the equations and the restriction part. Okay, so it says the postage rate to mail a package is as follows. So a package up to and including 2 pounds, that's just $1. A package between 2 and 4 pounds, that's 50 cents per pound. And then a package 4 pounds and over, it's 25 cents per pound plus a flat fee of $4. Okay, now what we need to figure out is decide what is going to be our restrictions and what is going to be our equation. Well, restrictions is always a range of stuff. So if I look, it seems like the weight of the package is going to deal with our restrictions because they are giving us a range there. While the money amount, that seems going to be our equation because that's what we want to put our rate into there so we can figure out that. Okay, so that means if we kind of look, we have 3 different lines here. So that means we're going to have 3 different equations / restrictions. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 and do 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's get to the first part. I like to go from one sentence to another and then fill out the entire thing, okay? So a package up to including 2 pounds, it's $1. So what that means is no matter what your weight is between 0 to 2 pounds, it's going to be $1. So if it weighs 0.5 of a pound, it's $1. If it weighs 1 pound, it's $1. If it's 1.5 pounds, it's $1. So notice that is constant. So that means basically our equation is just $1. So anytime you just have a constant, it's just that number. Now let's talk about the restriction. So it says up to and including 2 pounds, okay? Now, if we think about it, there is a minimum to our weight, right? Because can we have negative weight? No. The smallest that we could have is 0. But if we have 0 pounds, are we really going to pay $1? No. So when we have this, we're going to have 2 numbers. We have 0 as our lowest, and then we're going to have 2 as our highest, because notice it says a package up to and including 2 pounds. So that number 2 has to be part of it. So 0 has to be less than x. There's actually not going to be an equal bar because, remember, it would not make sense to pay $1 if we don't have any pounds for our package. But notice the word says including 2. That means when we do our inequality with the 2, that's going to have an equal bar because we're including it. Okay, so x is in between 0 and 2, so basically that's our weight there. Okay, let's do the next line. So it says a package between 2 and 4 pounds, that's 50 cents per a pound. Okay, anytime you see per, okay, that could represent multiplication. So meaning that we are going to do 50 cents for each pound here. So if it's like 2 pounds, then we're going to do 50 cents for those pounds. If it's 2.5 for each pound there, we're going to do 50 cents, okay? So here, how we're going to write our equation, so we have multiplication, we have 0.50 and x, because we're multiplying. So we have our 50 cents times whatever our pounds. Okay, now once again, we have 2 parts to the restriction because it says the package between 2 and 4 pounds. 2 is the smaller number, 4 is the bigger number. So remember, we go from smallest to biggest when we write with our inequalities. Now notice that we already used an equal bar for the 2 in our first restriction, so we can't use an equal bar this time. If you do, that really means that you're going to have 2 closed circles and it will not make this piecewise a function. Now here, it doesn't say anything about including, so what we're going to do here is we're not going to have an equal bar with our 4 as well. So it's anything really between 2 and 4 is going to be about 50 cents per that pound. Okay, now our last one. So it says a package 4 pounds and over, that's going to be 25 cents per pound plus a flat fee of 4. So flat fee means you have to pay $4 no matter what, okay? Now, here, once again, we see that 25 cents per, so that means no matter what the pounds is, now you got to add another 25 cents, okay? So like if we did it where it was 5 pounds, Well, it's $4, and then it's going to be 5 times our 25 cents because it's going to be for that per pound. So now I do plus 0.25x. Now, if you don't like writing it this way, that's okay. We can also write it how we usually with our mx plus b, because we are writing linear equations. So you can also write it as 0.25x plus 4. Okay, now from here, we're going to write our restriction. So it just says 4 pounds and over, so what we're going to have is just one part to our restriction. This is going to be included because it does say a package 4 pounds and over. Okay. And so that's how we're going to write a piecewise function given a word problem. Okay, let's do the next one. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay, let's try this together here. So once again, I'm going to do f of x equals, squiggly bracket, boom. Okay, so the piece of rock is as, or price of rock is as follows. Up to and including 20 pounds, that's $2 a pound. Between 20 and 50, that's $1.75 a pound. And 50 pounds and over is $1.50. Okay, once again, I see 3 lines, so that means I'm going to have 3 equations and then restrictions with it. Okay, let's do the top one. Now remember, let's think about this. It's going to be similar to example 3. Which one's going to be our equation? What's going to be our restriction? Well, it looks like, the range of the weight is going to be our restriction because it's dealing with range there. And then, of course, prices is going to be our equation. Kind of like the last one. We had prices was equations, and then the weight was restrictions. Okay, so the first one says we have $2 a pound. Also means multiplication. So for each pound, you're going to pay $2, okay? So if we have like 1 pound, you pay $2. If we have 2 pounds, you actually pay $4. That's 2 times 2, okay? So that means we're going to have our $2, and you can put 2, like 2.00 if you want to, or just 2. It's really up to you, right? I'm just going to put 2x, and x represents the weight. Here it says up to and including. So remember, weight, can it be negative? No. So we need to have a lower limit to our restrictions. We have 0x, and we're going to have 20 because that's our upper limit here. So in this case, if we do 2 times 0, because 0 we can plug in for x, we actually get 0. And that makes sense. You don't have any pounds, and you don't pay any money. So in this case, we are going to have an equals bar because it makes sense. Last time, it was saying that you still had to pay a certain amount when you had 0 pounds. That doesn't make sense, so it wasn't included. Here, if we do 2 times 0, that means you have 0 weight for 0 money. That makes sense. And then for the 20, we are also going to have an equal bar because it does say including. Okay, let's do the second line. So it says $1.75 a pound. Once again, that is multiplication. So I have $1.75x here. Okay, multiplication. So between 20 and 50, so my x is going to be in the middle. 20 is my lower limit, and 50 is my upper limit. Remember, we go from smallest to biggest. Now here, notice with the 20, we already used an equal bar. So on our next line here, we're not going to have an equal bar. Okay? And then also with the 50, we won't have an equal bar because it's not really including there. Okay, now we got the last one. So 50 pounds and over, that's going to be $1.50 a pound. So kind of see the pattern here. We're multiplying. So we're taking whatever the pounds is and multiplying by $1.50. Now here it's saying that we are doing 50 pounds and over. Okay? So in this case, from the last one, we did not have an equal bar, so this one has to be included. And we're going to have x is greater than or equal. We only have one part because there's not really an upper limit. It just says 50 pounds and over, and there's no upper limit that we have. So x is going to be greater than or equal to 50. Okay, there's going to be one more part. Once again, it's going to be a word problem. It's going to look a little bit different from example 3 and example 4, but please make sure you watch it.